тебя типа лайв.
Угу, типа нет.
Ну, подожди, сейчас подсосет. Я надеюсь. Я не использовал никаких, блядь, запрещенных слов в названии стрима.
А что ты написал?
Ну, видишь. Я надеюсь.
Угу. Окей. I'm ready.
Окей.
Would you like to erase your current save data?
Няша, а почему у меня 0 вьюверов показывает? Ты смотришь?
Да, мне показывает один.
Один.
What remains of edit? Edit or edit? Edit. Bench. Как ее имя правильно произносится?
Эдит?
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house. Someone had put up a chain link fence, but it looked like I wasn't the first person to hop it.
Нельзя бежать. На шифре приближения.
Is it a sad
I
game?
was 11, but I wasn't
So-
allowed inside half the
Oh, yeah, that's already sad.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Есть ноги хотя бы внизу.
Ты что там делаешь?
I hadn't been back since my
Huh?
brother Lewis's funeral.
Что это за дикие нажатия клавиш?
А, думаю. Я хожу. Чего ты игре еще
In her
можно
will,
делать?
my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it
Как
unlocked.
обычно, страдать, смотреть, что происходит.
Maybe she thought I'd
В
know,
основном страдать.
or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Тут прикольный субтитр реализован, как ты уже могла заметить.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Мы играем за нее?
Да?
Откуда
Это
ты знаешь?
и есть та самая Эдит. А я уже поиграл вот.
The truth is,
Понятно.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions
Мы сейчас
about my
увидели
family
Лань,
and the
убежавшую.
the answers to.
А бабочку синюю мы не увидели?
Не увидим.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
Вы дома.
Ага.
Нет, не было еще. Ну, тут ничего интересного нет.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable
А
in
чем она
a way I
пришла?
couldn't put into words.
Не знаю, мне ее мотивация пока не ясна. Я 20 минут поиграл, может 20. Наверное, половину того времени, что я стримчик выпускал.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house. I hoped the key might unlock the front door.
Oh,
It
so
didn't.
she's 17. Right?
Looking in, I
Мгм.
felt like the house itself had been waiting for
Что это у
me.
нее на руке?
Хуй знает.
Очень странный кусок геймплея. Тыдык-тыдык-тыдык-тыдык-тыдык.
Waste management, между прочим. Это вам не рашка не надо.
Ну, пусть она и лезет в кошачью дверку.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
А вот жопа не застрянет. Oh, I'm a little prophet.
Да, да. Тут прямо так все детализировано. Я себе, кстати, хочу велик купить.
Yeah,
By the
you've
way.
mentioned that before.
Да?
You have mentioned that.
Я не
before.
помню такого, что я это меньшинил когда-то.
О,
The
у
power
вас
had been
есть
turned
где
off the
кататься?
night we left.
Ну да. Везде примерно.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
Lucky her.
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Это у тебя?
Угу.
Звук был, блядь, как в этом. Как в Life is Strange.
Угу.
Когда там какая-то
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Нихуя себе, чувака, там баллон с каким-то дерьмом.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Я все прослушала. Что
Even
она
the
сказала про
fireplace
бабку?
had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house. After
Я
it
уже
sank.
помню. Про то, что она там с ними жрала.
М.
Бля, я теперь пропустил, что было, что они сказали про камин.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised.
Да
when
особо
the
ничего
key
не
didn't
сказали
fit.
про камин. Что-то там про original house after it sank.
Да. Там
Great
какие-то
Grandpa
кирпичи.
Sven built a music
Ага,
box for
да-да.
Barbara.
Кирпичи
Along
это
with
наши
the
будут,
house.
когда мы начнем сраться с историей.
Не, она тут не криповая. Тут вроде никакой крепоты нет.
Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is
Мне уже
buried
грустно от
somewhere
этой
in the library.
музыкальной шкатулки. Вот кто такие замки вешает, знаешь?
Там какая-то история с этой хуйней. Видишь, у них двери, блядь, заделаны монтажной пеной и тут глазки в них.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Вот если на escape нажать, у них из этот генеалогическое древо открывается.
М.
Они ведут свой род от самого Одина, блядь.
О,
А это вот эта тянка, которая...
she lost her
ну, мы-
brother.
Да там походу все.
Один.
Один наший. Один.
Мгм.
A
Это
lot of
такой
things got left behind in
Ингеборг
the whirlwind of that last night.
на листочке.
Кто, что? Листочки? А, понять не имею.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my
Я
mom sometimes
услышала
regretted not
Peoples,
filling it up.
думаю, так, стоп. Нельзя сказать сесс, но сверлить людей.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947. Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Они все померли, что ли, внезапно? Как так?
Было сложно в 47 году не помереть.
Ну да.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Я вот только первую историю прошел,
But I
которую мы
had
тут
no
проходим.
idea what was behind that door.
Но мне понравилось.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Там можно было что-то потрогать.
Да, тут можно.
О, мистер Октопус.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Oh, wait, what?
Внутри истории.
I thought about eating Christopher,
может,
but
рыбку
I held
съесть?
back. I kept eating and eating.
А почему ее дверь была закрыта?
Ну вообще она после смерти какого-то чувака за всю дверь заколотила.
А, да, точно. А как тогда Эдит через дырочку подглядывала?
Так дырочки сделали.
Они выходили из комнат?
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her.
Она сейчас голуби съест.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
О, бой.
I tried
Oh
to be
boy.
quiet, but the bird was really scared.
What?
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Yasha,
Mm.
what the fuck is going on?
Хорошо.
We're playing a cat! Oh my gosh. We're playing a cat.
I jumped and I almost got her.
You're a cat. Purr, purr, purr.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl.
What does she mean
all
anymore?
I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling.
Was she a cat before?
Угу.
What?
Я примерно с таким же, блядь, выражением лица играл. Первый раз.
Rabbits.
Is it real?
Nope.
Is it? Okay.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
Wow, so cool.
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger. A mama rabbit. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
Aww.
And suddenly,
Mama rabbit.
I was a shark.
На этом месте вообще правильно пиздец. Я помню
Oh, what?
игру про робота.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
Что, мы какого-нибудь чувака сожрем?
I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Fat, juicy seals. Господи, девочка, ты же такая маленькая. Откуда такие мысли? Няш, ты думал в своем лольском возрасте, как здорово
That
сожрать
got
тебя,
tight.
когда ты акула?
When I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled
Вот теперь
people everywhere.
монстр ты тентакольный. Няша.
Да-да, тентакельный монстр. Каждый лоли мечтает быть тентакельным монстром.
Ага.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
О,
I wanted to stop,
Holy
but
shit.
also I didn't.
holy shit. True story. I wanted to stop, but also I didn't. Bye bye, Mr. Sailor. Bye bye. That's it. A
After the
seagull.
last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Is it a metaphor?
Что именно?
This hunger thing.
Похоже.
I got closer and closer.
О боже. Мы вылезли обратно к ней в комнату.
All my stomach started growling,
Ну что, сейчас свинку и морскую сожрем?
and suddenly it was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for
Poor
me to fall
child.
asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Иди, это кто? А, это вот 2010 внизу. Окей.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Смотри, у нее есть наколушки.
Угу.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Poor girl.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
And suddenly, I was a cat.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories.
Это была
Edie
первая
would laugh, but
история?
Mom didn't like bringing up the
Uh-huh.
past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
Mole man. Человек-моль, блядь.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Her room was like a museum.
Там еще какая-то Эдит есть. Может, это ее остатки? Не наши?
Где?
Ну, она назвала себя Эдит Junior. Видимо, есть Эдит Senior.
Кто знает?
Может, это Эдди?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse his wife Ingeborg, and their newborn son, Johann.
Жохан.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to
Family
leave the
curse?
curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of
What
Washington
curse?
send the house and Odin
Who's
to
that?
the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Окей, как выглядит хуйня. Any fucking idea?
Nope. Just walk around.
Точно.
There's nothing else to do anyway.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Я думал, нам какую-нибудь охуенную историю покажут.
When Edie
Ну,
told
видимо,
people
этот дед
Sven
был
was
не
killed
настолько
by a dragon,
выдающийся. Без
she could
кошачьих
also have
ушек,
said he
нафиг
was
на него
building a
тратить
dragon-shaped
экранное время.
slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Wait, what? What dragon?
What? Нихуя себе, не хотел себе такой сортир.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Wow.
It was a pretty big trace.
О, божечки.
Тут, блядь, глазок есть напротив сральника. Глазок наш напротив сральника. Come on. Finches, what's wrong with you?
Ну, теперь ты знаешь, как декорировать свою ванную.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
Ну да, я уже заметил.
There's a secret in this
It's in the
bathroom.
last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Wow. That's cool. Oh.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Что здесь было? Алхимическая лаборатория?
Там, походу, фоточки проявляли.
Даркрум? Вот же несносный. Даркрум себе построил. Melton. What is this place?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin,
Никто,
and that he never talked about him.
Were they twins?
Келвин и Сэм.
Yes.
Окей, есть Келвин, есть Сэм.
How was it possible? How is it possible to have a twin and wait, did he hide him? What? I don't get it.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Oh.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
So his
At
brother
Barbara's
died.
funeral, we swore we'd never
Right.
be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always
What
wanted to
mushroom?
fly.
Он что,
But
обдолбался
that
и
day,
умер?
he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Whoa, what's happening?
I'm not gonna tell you again.
We're going to fall.
maybe if I
We're going to
hadn't
fall.
stepped,
We're fucking going to fall.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt.
Yeah, look at me. I am about
I
to
think he'd
kill
already made up
myself,
his mind.
mommy. Господи, мы сейчас в крышу
That's
въебемся.
what I want to remember about my brother.
Как он вообще не упал вниз головой? Вообще, гравитация действует на этого чувака?
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
What? What is going on?
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Так он спрыгнул или обожрался грибов?
Может, ну, в принципе, одно другому не мешает.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Wow, that's cool.
Охуеть. Вот это дом у них.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
А вот были уже? А, да.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
В этом доме можно неплохо побухать. Получается.
Ага.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Я и Чубака, блядь.
Котя, что ты хочешь, няш?
Хочет выйти.
Куда?
Я думаю, это пицца, которая там пролежала миллион лет.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Poor girl. Happy birthday, Barbara.
Может, какая-нибудь
Of
крепота
all the
будет?
stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Afterwards? After what?
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to
Oh my gosh.
demonstrate when...
That's so cringy.
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
What happened?
Barbara got stuck babysitting her
Okay.
youngest brother, Walter. Her convention
Oh my
was
gosh.
cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Okay.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Will he kill her?
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent. She found
Holy
Rick's
shit.
couch and imagined the worst.
Oh. Blood everywhere. What are you doing?
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman,
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate
This
his
is a
family 10
dramatic
years ago
moment.
tonight.
Oh. Shit, what's that?
Я просто хуярю, сука, сюда.
Okay.
Любой непонятной ситуации, но...
The old fridge rattled and grew still.
Очень оригинальная подача.
Мгм.
Oh dear!
Oh!
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your
Oh,
scream.
fucking
Well,
shit.
I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and
I
confused.
fucking knew it.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
What's going on up there?
Ну, наверх,
He is dead, I'm afraid. You said it's not creepy. It is!
Walter, are you there?
Я не знаю,
Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite
Oh.
smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Может, наваляем?
Yeah, sure. Just go.
That night, she played her
Как бар.
part beautifully.
Сейчас он ее за жопу схватит.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow.
Лезь в окно, короче.
Чё?
В окно.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might
Я
not
вот не видел
be
этого.
over yet.
Надо его добить.
О. Сейчас мы спустимся, его там не будет.
Да.
Hookman had vanished.
Серьезно?
She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Fuck.
the door. She heard
That was scary.
it was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream.
The fuck?
Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Oh.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Так, у нас там ключ от подвала есть. Давайте посмотрим, что в
I
подвале.
guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
А как в подвал попасть? Походу он где-то здесь.
Нашенька, в 10 я пойду спать.
Да. 10 у нас еще куча времени.
Угу.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Б мне. Кто-то расшарил. Какой-то мой пост. Что это с ним?
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once.
Радуйся,
Carrying
что это какой-то
packages.
твой пост, Няш.
А?
Радуйся, что это только твой пост.
Нет, он с
У
моей
Б
стороны.
довольно
I thought
щедрый
maybe
на
she was hiding
контент.
presents.
А, это там сложно.
It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
А,
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away
Where
as
are
he
we?
could.
Мы в подвале.
If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
How did she die, Barbara?
Ну, походу, ее это. Либо бойфренд убил, либо эти банды чуваков.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
Я тоже.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
What?
But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
30 years.
Having a
That's
schedule,
hard.
living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was,
Что он ест? Это
it was
яйца?
gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting.
Я...
Ой,
And maybe
интересно.
I just got tired of being afraid.
А куда он срет?
It's been a week now, the longest
Не знаю.
in 30 years.
Может, в дырку какую-нибудь?
Сейчас посмотрим.
I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Откуда у него столько еды?
У них там подвальчик такой на случай ядерного апокалипсиса.
Ну, он, наверное, в ту дырку срал как раз, в которую сейчас полезет.
По говну полазит.
Ну да,
I know it's out there
к своему
somewhere.
родному.
Whatever killed Barbara
О бой.
and Molly.
А Молли, скорее всего,
Calvin.
отравилась ягодами.
Мгм.
вот и дырка для сранья. Unfortunately, нам нельзя туда прыгнуть.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it.
О, бой.
I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Очень оригинальная подача. Once again.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Вау. Докопал, блядь, туннель.
Понятно.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Прикольно у них истории.
Угу.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
А как они не заметили тряску в доме?
Они были толерантны к тряске.
Отлично.
Европейцы.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
А говно все тоже.
War never changes.
Now that there's only one of us left,
Still alive.
maybe two,
Sorry.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself
Something that's still alive.
and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
На острове Федералии.
I don't know if I should even be
What is
writing this.
А, все. That's the best. Oh my gosh. Ну что? Да, включи,
Maybe
пожалуйста.
it'd be better if all this just
Вот
died with me.
теперь я останусь когда-нибудь в больнице с приступом.
But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of.
Это та самая дырка, через которую на в сортир, что ли, залезли, будучи червем.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Are we lost?
Ну
Do
так,
we feel lost?
ну так.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but The pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Will she
3 of the
die?
gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Zurpy, Lurpy, Furpy, Chirpy, Burpy, Derpy, Derpy Junior. Oh,
Зойка.
котик Чарли.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Ми-ми-ми.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Ну, это старый дом. А можно вниз головой? Внизу? Так, ну...
But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. She lost
Я
2 of
прочитала
her
ужас.
brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. We never found Milton's body, so my mom insisted we were putting up a monument, not a tombstone. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all
А кто
along,
там Милтон был?
for me to come
Милтон
back.
это брат ее.
Который под кроватью был?
Нет, под кроватью был кто-то от Барбары. Не помню кто.
Someday. And find everything out for
А,
myself.
окей.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Что?
What?
Что там про pregnancy нет?
Она сказала, типа, если бы она меня предупредила, что будет столько кламинга, я бы никогда не вернулась на 22 неделях.
Ей ж 17 лет.
Да-да-да.
Да фу. Так, куда я попал? Я должен был сюда попасть? Нет? А, вон там лестница.
Да-да-да. Тебе же про прегненси рассказали.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Опан.
They were both pretty intense.
Музычка заиграла. Нагнетающая.
Oh. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
О, он воевал там, что ли? Окей, let's see. Let's see.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
What's going on?
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Не надо куда-то ходить. Под баллон пропал.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off. Not quite.
I'm over here, Dad.
Just need to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can hit the road.
Там же ограниченное количество кадров.
Да, что я должен делать?
What?
Ого.
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw.
Нифига себе зум.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Ну, давай найдем какую-нибудь парочку на берегу.
Которая сосется. Ну, это кажется, там где-то ответ. Окей, что здесь должен смотреть? Пичку я смотрю.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still, one.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
Он ссал там все это время, пока я искал, чтобы сфоткать.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
Да, Няш. Кто мог подумать, что чтобы пройти по уровню, тебе нужно
Doesn't being out here
сфоткать
make you want to chill out?
сущего
To tell you the
батю.
truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn.
Я сфоткал его.
М?
Я недостаточно в фокусе, блядь, был, чтобы стригерить дальше следующую сцену. Что я теперь должен? О.
Такой музончик расслабляющий. А палатку сфоткал?
Что надо сфоткать? Я пока уже сфоткал.
Не знаю, жопу его сфоткал.
Прям жопу, знаешь?
Да. Сфокусируй на этом.
На жопе.
Няш очень размазано. Ты что, блин, не фотограф, что ли?
Нет, я не фотограф. Вот так нормально, блядь?
Да, идеально. Lovely.
Any ideas? Кружку с говном сфоткал. Блядь, да все что угодно я сфоткал уже.
А на дереве наверху что-нибудь есть?
О, один,
Наверх.
правильно.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off. Let me get behind you.
Мне кажется, и станет грустно.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
Сейчас она ему прикладом.
Great shot,
Глаз
Dawn!
даст. О,
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Он селфи, что ли, делает?
Походу.
Селфи на фоне плачущей дочери над убитым оленем.
Sorry, Dawn, just gotta
You're
reset the
fucking
timer.
sick.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's...
totally
Сейчас он
normal.
такой.
Just focus
Peace.
on the camera. Try not to think about
Chillax, girl. Чё ж.
Oh boy.
Ага.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That's just some crazy shit.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Pinch control.
Григорий. Смотри, Григорий.
Григорий, да. Давайте чекнем, что там у Григория.
Yeah.
Divorce contract. Окей. Да, почитаем соглашение о разводе. Бля, оно слишком скучно.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Сори. Вискарик.
Ну, мы играем
He saw
личинка.
things the rest of us don't.
Я видела эту лягушку в ванну. В той самой ванне.
Что там, блядь, силой мысли управлять?
Ага.
Это
Over,
лягушка, да.
Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. What his world was like. reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
Я теряюсь в этой иерархии.
В иерархии уточек.
В иерархии Келвинов, Милтонов.
Я хочу кота. Это Ленезер, наверное, да?
Угу. Ты управляешь этой лягушкой?
Да, я ее управляю, я просто там нашел.
Я думала, мы просто сидим и смотрим, что происходит.
Нет. Нет. I'm a fucking frog. Надо все буквочки набрать. Чё вообще смысл? Бля, такая неочевидная игра. Супер неочевидная.
Может, его надо выкинуть в другую сторону? Забей на кита.
Вот он в другую сторону. Он ему в очко прям залетело в его детское.
Я не буду вечером есть тоже. Поздно уже. Меня пытаются еду посылать.
А, он типа воду хочет?
Sure made him happy.
Надо спустить воду, чтобы его тоже засосался. О, ты достал кита.
Ага, не полегчало.
Пойду я еду уберу в холодильник, а то мне не
Давай,
оставить.
пока ты, блядь, развлекаюсь.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw. There's so much I don't understand about Gregory, about everything.
Что там у тебя за фантазмагория началась?
Я тут курить начал сейчас. Ты видела? Он, короче, себе воду открыл, и походу он там в ванне потонул.
О,
But I know what happened wasn't your fault. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Oh yeah, he's happy to have such parents.
Happiness просто пиздец так и прет.
Who's Kay?
Хз, какой-то листик непонятный.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. I can't imagine what it was like for her to lose 2 sons after she'd already lost 2 brothers. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Нихуя себе.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think
You
it helped
did
her a lot
indeed.
after her dad died.
Угу. Отец.
Да, отец.
Чё, тут не будет стори, блядь? Джимми, Джимми. А чё?
Отлично. Индийское диско. Wait. Her mother is Dawn?
Угу. Еще какой-то Льюис тоже дохлый. У нее брат. Так, я немножко потерялся. Ага.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet
Мы еще бабку не дискавернули.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
At least not very hard. Oh well.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. Make this crime.
Окей, где следующий онлайн?
Что, типа их батя Санджай женится на другой бабе? Няш.
Я хуй знает.
Ну вот этот чувак сказал, we don't need
When
a
the time for
stepmom.
photos came, Dad ordered him to come here.
Слишком, блядь, занят
Gus declined,
управлением
and
этой
as a
хуйней,
sign
чтобы
held up his
читать.
middle finger.
Поэтому это на тебя.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Тупой батя.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you all the time.
What?
Out there on the beach alone. Just
Oh my
you, the
gosh.
wind, the sea and
Poor
foam.
child.
But I didn't. Until we found you. She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Окей, может теперь активировалось.
А, все, я поняла, что это за женщина. Это не ее батя был, это был тот мужик, который развелся с мамашей зеленого ребенка.
О бой, зеленый ребенок.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to
От
have her
кого?
back.
От ученика?
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Объясняет, как она нашла этого индийца.
And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last.
Ну, конечно, сделали классную комнату на дереве на каком-то.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday.
They didn't
When
last.
Edie gave him
Open
a
the
castle.
door. Open the door.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Who's Milton?
Тот, который брат ее.
Ага. Oh.
Бля, начинается, да. Я тупой.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Вешали сначала.
Рекурсия такая. Right.
Нашел через летний на самом деле.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother.
Ну,
And she
можно
sealed the
поставить
doors.
ее с тайтлом Лара Крофт. The Survivor is Born.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Подожди, а он что-то типа нашел и от этого забирал? Я не очень смотрел, что там этот мультик был.
Ну да, видимо, что-то нашел.
Еще не факт, что к концу игры эта тянка будет жива.
Да.
Я так понимаю, тут
Знаю
уже не особо много осталось.
историю этой семейки.
Проклятие. Ты хуй сосёшь,
Mom
я ничего не
definitely
получается за
blamed
это
Edie,
проклятие.
but I
О,
think
можно
Louis
наверх
blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Who's Lewis? Her other brother?
Да, да. Там лодка, что ли, блядь?
Угу.
Вот кальян на доме, и ты в ней спишь.
Lewis's room smelled very,
Не самое
very
плохое.
familiar. That part of him lived on.
Окей, давай посмотрим, что с чуваком случилось.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Да уж, ему удалось наконец в 2010-м.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh. Substance abuse.
He kept working at the cannery.
Oh god.
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
Where is it? Oh, ha 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 ha.
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names.
Сейчас все руку
Какой-то Лавкрафт,
отрубить.
блядь, начинает.
He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
Whoa.
But he found something more. I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss.
О, ой, я прям вижу.
But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on.
Fuck.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
У чувака шизофрения.
He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck
Что
him
там лабиринты себе не придумываешь?
Пока нет. Но я
that
уже...
all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination, so he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Чё? Я тут.
Мгм.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen.
Сами, блядь.
The queen was on her own
Не
quest
пошел
for
в гейский рай?
sinister serpents. followed the sound of her electric sitar.
Electric guitar. Sitar. Electric sitar.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Тянка от него побежала. Понятно, френдзона.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Something what?
And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Че он до сих пор тут работает? Как его не уволили?
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, let's go into shop.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Сейчас его принцесса-то и обезглавит.
У меня усы, блядь. Я бы сам себя обезглавил.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Там дверь какая-то. Я всегда, блядь, еще черных детей. Блять, не туда, сука. Скрипты ебаные. А что за скрипты ебаные? Вот это было. Кого мы еще, блядь, не узнали?
Бабку.
Бабку и мать саму.
Угу.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Стоп, она сейчас беременная?
Ну, походу.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Это она к себе в комнату поднимается? Блядь, на самый верх засунули? Чтобы, блядь, не мешалось?
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Бля, чё я за ссанину пью?
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Бабка сейчас помрет от того, что к ней в мозг попали вещества не те.
Может, она просто так помрет.
When my mom sealed the library, I
Ну
don't
да,
think
она
she
тут
knew
самый
about
большой
the other
долгожитель.
entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Меня что такая пила?
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
That's Нам обратно нужно переть?
Нам нужно, я хуй знает, куда
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Как так получилось, что бабка
We'll
живет,
have
а
the
все вокруг
nursing
нее
home send a
помирают?
van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Ой, это можно будет к старому дому прийти? Так вот, я что хотел сказать. Ты когда-нибудь пила Уильям Лоусон?
Да.
Пиздец, какая ссанина ебаная. Я просто в ужасе. Да, у них там отливчика, мы можем дойти до старого дома.
Okay.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean.
Мне так нравятся слова, которые типа образованы через A. Там arise,
They
ground.
called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Мне нравится слово strange.
Awful.
Какое?
Strange.
Oh.
Только это через И.
I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Тут дерьма как быстро подрастаться. Я просто всю неделю пил Куантро, который я брал в спаре. И он был охуенный. И теперь я зашел в ебаную пятерочку, в которой ничего нет, и взял там литр вискаря и... Блядь.
When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Теперь я потерялся.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the band came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it.
What do you mean, already gone? She was dead?
Походу.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it,
Ща руку сломает каким-нибудь столбом.
but
Okay.
she started getting sick.
Сломал. Да что ж такое-то?
The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't.
Туберкулез?
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange
Мы сейчас в
and brief
начале игры
all of
играли ее
this is.
сыном.
Nope. Это то, о чем я думаю? Няша, это что, ваджайна,
This
блядь,
journal
я
was
тут
supposed to be
плыву?
for you,
О, да.
but now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins.
На что, умерла природа?
I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed
Он вылез через
that
око
any of us
Саура.
ever had a chance to be here at all.
Будем считать, что это Саура. О, да, мы играем за Ясина.
Гигантский, простите, воробей.
Да. Охуенный типа. Окей. Мы так и не открыли. Там еще в этой игре миллион ачивок. 2 из 9. О, там ачивка See Johan's name in credits. Томас Хуюх. Хуюнг. Аниматор, блин. Окей. Давайте искать Джохана. Джонатана вижу.
BRB.
Окей. О, Джохан.
Ладненько, Няш, я пойду баньки.
Давай, давай.
Спокойной ночи.